Okay, so in this video, I want to show what I do with my finished ends, because this is a finished end and this cabinet is all put together with just screws and nails, but mostly screws. I think a lot of people do finished ends different. I think this is a simple way to do it, and I also show how I treat it near the top at the ceiling. There's a certain way I'm treating it on this job so that it's easier on the install. So let me show you. So here's the unfinished end, and I just used screws to assemble it. That's a fixed shelf. On the top, I'm going to show you something that's a little bit different than I've done before. So here at the top, I'm going to hold it down 1 inch. So this is the entire cabinet. Both sides are going to get a finished end. This is the bottom. So there's a bottom rail that goes across here. And I'm just going to show you that procedure. So I've added melamine glue to the surface because this is a pre-finished end and that will hold together better. Okay, and then I put this on there. Okay. There's a small scribe on this cabinet, 1/4 inch. Sometimes they go 1/2 inch, it all depends. At 1 inch there, it is flush with the bottom, so I'm going to nail that on now. I would rather have it flush or slightly proud. Melamine glue on this side, and I just do this. I don't do anything special, just enough to I know it'll hold together. Sometimes I do this just to kind of spread it around a little bit. So I'm going to check and push this to be in line, but if any of it is sticking out, I'm okay with that. Here's a perfect example. It's flush here, and it's actually projecting out here. It's flush at the bottom, almost flush at the top. Flush it up and nail it, making sure that this projects this way. Paint grade, I don't really clamp it unless I have to. And you can see here, there's no gappage. I'm gonna almost stand on it as I go. If this was a stain grade panel, I would be doing a lot of clamping. Overhang, which I will just route off. This spiral bit is one of my favorites for doing something like this. So I've raised it off the bench in case I need to use clamps. Okay, so here we go with the glue. I'm gonna put some on the inside and outside where there's a finished panel like this. Just 1 bead down the center of each. It's really all it needs. Anybody tells you otherwise, that you need to spread it and all that stuff, tell them to, I don't know, go take a hike or something. I already checked it, so it should all line up pretty good. It's basically flush with the side panel here. And you can do that whole slidey thing here if you want to spread the glue a little bit. That's okay. That helps kind of like secure it sometimes. It kind of helps suction it down. This is the most critical right here. I want to be absolutely flush or just a hair proud. Checking it down here, it looks good. I switched out to 1.5 inch nails because I prefer that for this particular process. Combination square and check things. So now what I do is just kind of overall look at it and see where I'm at, you know. That's what's great about this glue. You have a little bit of time. So if I'm flush here, am I good on the other side? And you can just tell by feeling. You don't have to run around to the other side. Here, I'm a hair proud, and that's okay. Over here, it wouldn't matter at all inside the drawers. And at the bottom, I'm good and flush here, good and flush here. Much better than my last cabinet, which I'm afraid to show anybody. Yeah, just kind of overall check things. And just make sure you apply pressure where it needs to go. We can always clamp it as well. And sometimes I just throw clamps on just so I feel better. Because I'm looking at this and there is no gap, but you know, I don't know, it just makes me feel better. All right. Oh, and by the way, these Jorgensen clamps, they're awesome. I love them. And I'm not just saying that. These are the best. They are easy to use and everything. Lowe's has them on sale fairly often from what I've noticed. These were about 40 bucks. You can't beat it. So I hope that helped any of you out there that were wondering. what to do on finished ends. If you screw cabinets together, this to me is the only way to do it. Okay, so now I'm going to use this spiral bit and router to do some trimming. I have very little overhang, but just enough. And now this side. Now I'm just going to add wood fill to the nail holes and then do some sanding. Okay, so I finished sanding all this and routing it, and I'll show you exactly what I did to bring you up to date on that and what's going on at the ceiling, like I was mentioning earlier. Okay, so I put an 1/8 of an inch radius on the outside edges. You'll see that here and along the whole edge. This is the router bit I've used. It's a CMT bit, 1/8 of an inch round over. And then I use this Amana bit, which is just a 1/16 of an inch round over. And I use that on the inside edges. It gets really close in the corners because it's such a tiny bearing. So I did that on all the inside openings. That gives it a nice clean look. And then I did the same thing here at the top. And I'll show you what's gonna happen at the top. This is going against the ceiling. All right, so here's the two cabinets I just finished and putting the drawer fronts on. And I'm gonna show you what's happening at the ceiling. So I put this board up here to represent the ceiling. The molding is gonna be attached, and I'm gonna have to cut this. I've oversized it on the height so that I can pre-cut it here in the shop, making it much easier in the field. I don't have to cut my mitered corners. I could just need to rip it on the table saw and then attach it. And I've got this 1/8 of an inch gap. I use spacers in the field and then attach it with those spacers. But here I can do the same thing and prep it all to save a lot of time in the field. I like this look with the gap, and that way you don't have to try and meet it up and put some wood fill in there to make your face frame and all that stuff. And since this is floor to ceiling, I have to leave a certain amount of space so it can tilt up without hitting the ceiling. So you got to know that that's diagonally how you would measure that. So this diagonally is 83 3/4 inches, and I know the ceiling is going to be about 84 1/4. So I've left myself about 1/2 of an inch clearance when I stand it up. And I've got it going about 2 inches to the ceiling. This molding needs to extend up 2 more inches from here. So I've given it another 1/2 of an inch because I don't know what's going on the ceiling. And hopefully I won't have a lot of scribing to do. Anyways, this is the method I've developed for kind of floor to ceiling cabinets, face frame, inset, and to have enough room and only have to add one piece of molding rather than having like a crown molding or something like that. This is more of a minimalist look, I think. I'll show you some other pictures of things I've done with this exact same technique. It's very clean in my book. Yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.